So I gave the Magic Mouse 2 a try from Apple because I've never actually used it and I wanted to see for 2 weeks how it would compare to my Logitech MX Master. Now I've been using it for productivity, video editing, day-to-day tasks, and I've got some thoughts. Now while it feels sleek, looks premium, let's just say it's not all that magic. So if it's your first time here, my name's Almir, aka Mr. Tech, and on this channel we make tech simple. Now if I do end up earning your subscription, do hit that subscribe button below. Like the video if you do end up liking it, and share it with your friends and family who also might be interested in getting a Magic Mouse, because it could just change their mind. Now let's talk about the last 2 weeks, the good, the bad and the ugly when it comes to the Apple Magic Mouse 2. Let's check it out. So the first thing I did was of course unbox the Magic Mouse 2, and like you all know, Apple do give you quite a good unboxing experience, probably one of the better ones out of any other tech brands I've seen. Now taking the actual Magic Mouse out, that gives you an actual chance to see how well designed of a product it is, at least in terms of aesthetics. Apple knows how to make an aesthetically pleasing device, but functionality, we'll talk about that. So when it actually came to setting up the Magic Mouse to my Mac and connecting it, that was super easy. And of course, that's no surprise because Apple like to make things, especially when it comes to connectivity, as easy as possible for the consumer. All you have to do is on the bottom of the Magic Mouse, you just flick that switch till it shows green. And in a couple seconds on your actual Mac, go to Bluetooth settings and you should see on devices that have been found, Magic Mouse is there, click connect, and then you should be greeted with this logo of Magic Mouse connected, and then you're all set up. Unfortunately, I didn't know that in order to use all these fancy gestures and whatnot that comes with the Apple Magic Mouse, you need to be on the latest macOS software. So I was going around wondering if I've got a faulty unit, what's going on, why can't I swipe, why don't my gestures work, until I looked online and then found out I need to update my device, which of course it did have an update available. Once I did the update, the gestures, or at least in the settings section, the mouse section settings did change, and then I was able to use the gestures, so bear that in mind. So for the first 30 minutes of using it, I was actually thinking, wow, this is actually quite a nice experience. Could this actually be something I could switch to from my Logitech MX Master? But that didn't last long. So for browsing the web, sending emails, day-to-day tasks, the Magic Mouse actually felt like a decent device. Now then when I moved over to doing stuff like video editing, photo editing, that's when things got a little bit interesting. So let's talk about some good things about the Magic Mouse first. Now the build quality is definitely a good point, and that's no surprise because Apple know how to make good devices. Now that glass top, that is a very nice feeling, super smooth. And then when you've got them built-in gesture controls on there, which is probably one of my favorite things about this mouse, it just gives you a whole new experience. Now when you turn the gestures on, you've got swiping left and right and scrolling up and down. Even though you don't have a scroll wheel on there, it's very intuitive. Of course, you've got your left and right mouse clicks, and then you've got things like you can double tap on the mouse with 2 fingers to get mission control, and it separates all your open apps so you can easily access which one you want, instead of having to minimize each app individually to get the certain one. Another thing you can do is swipe with 2 fingers to switch between apps, and double tap with 1 finger to get smart zoom, I think it was. And when I was doing video editing, it was very nice to just be able to swipe left and right to go through the timeline instead of having to have a scroll wheel on the side. So I did like that. And all these gestures were super fun and super good until they weren't. And let me explain. Now, I mentioned in the good bit that I liked the gestures, and that was for a certain period of time until I start getting misclicks and things are happening without me actually wanting to do it. So very often I'd be browsing on the web or just going through different parts of the macOS, and it would just do smart zoom and without me even tapping on there. So my screen would just zoom in, then I would have to zoom out. I would do things like when I'm on web pages, I would accidentally move my finger across the actual mouse and it would take me back a web page when I didn't want that. Things like this that were made to make the Magic Mouse a lot easier were proving to be making it a lot more of an unpleasant experience. And something I have to say is the ergonomics on this mouse, I don't know how people use it, but I just couldn't get a comfortable feeling on this mouse at all. Every time I was using it, my hand was basically like this. And after about 10-15 minutes, that is not comfortable at all. I have to say, I've seen online some people have doing like DIY, putting like foam or whatever it is on there to make it more comfortable. There is other what would I say, casings that I've seen people 3D print, where you can slide the Magic Mouse Mini in to make it more ergonomic. But for a mouse that's this price, I would assume Apple would make a new one, especially since this one's been out for quite a while. This is the USB-C version, so speaking of USB-C, that is something else that is kind of on the ugly side. They've put the charging port on the bottom, which poses two problems. Now, the battery life has been pretty good. I haven't had to charge it in this whole 2 weeks. But charging it, you need to plug it in on the bottom of the mouse, which probably is something to do with, like, I'll have a break and charge your mouse to stop you from constantly working. But I should be able to decide how much I want to work and how much I don't want to work. And every other mouse manufacturer out there has a charging port on the front or the side or the back or somewhere where I can have it plugged in and use it at the same time, which is another thing. This one you can't. Of course, when you have it plugged in at the bottom, you have to leave it because there's no other way to use it on the actual mouse mat. Now, does this mouse have potential? Yes. If they fix two things, I think this could be a very, very good competitor to one of my favorite mice, which is the Logitech MX Master Pro. First of all, give it an ergonomic feeling. There's plenty of examples and concepts out there of what Apple could do, and they all look really good for the new Magic Mouse, which it must be bound to come out sometime soon, because this model has been out for a while now. I mean, they only just recently put USB-C in, but this design is pretty outdated. And then another thing is fix that charging port. Put it on the front, give it MagSafe charging or something. Fix it so it's able to be used while it's charging, because although the battery life may be good, I want to be able to charge it and use it at the same time if need be, especially if you're paying that kind of money. And they could call it something like Magic Mouse Pro. They could give this same version with a little bit of changes for the people that actually like it. I don't know who that is. If you do like this kind of version, let me know in the comments box below. And then they could give a whole new Magic Mouse Pro version, which they'd love to use that Pro or Ultra naming in their actual branding, for people, creative professionals that like the Logitech MX Master, for example. And I think that would bring a lot of people over. Like, if I had a mouse like the Logitech MX Master with this glass top and these gesture controls that were swiping and scrolling without actually having to have a swipe or scroll wheel, I think that would be very, very good. But to be honest with you, I found myself reaching over for my Logitech MX Master more times than I would like. And I don't think I'm going to be using this for the foreseeable future. If you use a Magic Mouse 2 or Magic Mouse 1, how? Let me know down below if you're a Magic Mouse user, because I don't see how someone can use this and like it. But my favorite mouse is the Logitech MX Master 3S or the 2S or the 1, because the feeling you get, especially with ergonomics on this mouse, can't be beaten. So if you're thinking about getting an Apple Magic Mouse 2, think again, grab yourself an MX Master, and you'll be thanking me in the long run. So links for everything will be in the description box below. If I earned your subscription, hit the subscribe button below, like the video if you liked it, share with your friends and family, and I'll catch you on the next one. Definitely not with the Magic Mouse in my hand. So see you later.